Bava Basra, Perak HaShutfin Daf Beis, sponsored the Refuah Shleimer for Yosef David ben Rezel. We begin with the Mishnah. First Mishnah discusses the issue of invasion of privacy and its resolution concerning three different domains: courtyards and vegetable gardens considered semi-private domains, and fields, non-private domains. Number one, a jointly owned courtyard that partners agreed to partition. They must contribute equally for materials and ground space to build a wall, not to invade each other's privacy. Materials used depend on local custom. If the wall fell even to one courtyard, the rubble is divided equally between them. Number two, a jointly owned vegetable garden partners agreed to partition. They must contribute equally for materials and ground space to build a wall so as not to spoil each other's vegetables with a jealous eye. Number three, a jointly owned field partners agreed to partition. They are not compelled to build a wall. One who decides to build must do so only on his property, making a chazis, a sign, on the side of the wall facing his neighbor. If the wall fell, the builder is entitled to all the rubble. If both agreed to build, there must be a chazis on both sides of the wall. The Mishnah states, Hashutfin sheratzu lasos mechitza, partners that agreed to partition their courtyard. The Gemara defines the word mechitza in two ways. Number one, a wall. The Mishnah means they agreed to build a wall. One cannot compel the other to build even after they agree to divide. The Gemara infers, Hezek Ria Lav Shemei Hezek, invasion of privacy does not constitute a legal form of damage. Number two, the Gemara defines mechitza, a division. The Mishnah means they agreed to a division of the courtyard. Once they agreed to divide, they must build a wall, proving invasion of privacy is a legal form of damage. However, it would have been more appropriate for the Mishnah to state, Sheratzu lach tzois. They agreed to divide, not agreed to make a partition. Such an expression cannot be misconstrued to mean a wall. The Gemara reverts, therefore, to the definition, a wall. The repetition of bonin es hakoisel is to eliminate another definition of mechitza, a boundary marker of a small indivisible courtyard that without an agreement to build a boundary, a marker suffices. Invasion of privacy is not a legal form of damage. To prevent such a reading of the Mishnah, the word kaisel was used. The Gemara now explains why the Mishnah mentioned both partners had to contribute ground space for the wall. One partner could otherwise claim he consented to forego airspace, not ground space. The Gemara now qualifies the previously accepted premise, invasion of privacy is not a legal form of damage, by differentiating between a courtyard and other domains. Number one, a vegetable garden. The Mishnah compares a vegetable garden to a courtyard only concerning materials used to build the wall and to abide by local custom. However, in respect to Hezek Ria, a vegetable garden is different than a courtyard. The owner of an exposed garden would suffer a loss by way of a jealous eye, whereas the owner of a courtyard would only be inconvenienced by his privacy being compromised. Number two, a fallen wall. A Mishnah later states if the original wall fell, it must be rebuilt to a height of 4 amos to prevent invasion of privacy. Gemara distinguishes between a wall that fell and one never built. Either party can claim regarding a wall that fell, he was accustomed to the privacy it afforded. Number three, courtyard bordering a public domain. Every resident of a courtyard bordering a public domain was expected to share the cost of erecting a Beis Shar, a gatehouse. In case the door of the chutzner was open, the guard in the Beis Shar would chase pedestrians away. Gemara explains, as thereabouts, pedestrians peeking in is an ongoing problem, whereas a neighbor invading his privacy is less restricting. Number four, a house. A Mishnah states one who builds a wall opposite his neighbor's windows must build it 4 amos higher or lower than his windows so he cannot look in by way of his wall. The Gemara answers, a house is routinely used for privacy, not a courtyard. Number five, a roof. Shmuel holds if it adjoins his neighbor's courtyard, the owner of the roof must build a makev 4 amos high to protect the neighbor against Hezek Ria. The Gemara answers the use of a roof is arbitrary and cannot be anticipated by his neighbor to guard himself against an invasion of his privacy, whereas a neighbor's use of a courtyard can be anticipated and consequently he can guard himself against an invasion of privacy. If you're enjoying Daf in 5, please subscribe.